Late one night, I came across a post online. I've got a side chick. How do I keep my wife from finding out and get her to agree to a divorce? The top comment said, easy. Tell her your company has a huge overseas opportunity, but you need proof that you're single. Convince her to get a fake divorce. Tell her it's just on paper. Then you can enjoy yourself with the mistress while your wife stays home taking care of your parents. It made me sick. The next day, my husband came home from work, loosened his tie, and said, honey, my company is offering me a training program overseas. Huge opportunity. But there's one condition. They need proof I'm unmarried. Then he looked me straight in the eye. Let's get a fake divorce. The second he said it, I thought of that post from the night before. I forced down the disgust crawling up my throat and decided to test him. Can't you turn it down? Our daughter is still little and your parents haven't been doing well these past 2 years. He cut me off sharply. Then, realizing he'd sounded too aggressive, he softened his voice. This chance is once in a lifetime. I'll be overseas for 2 years. When I come back, I could get promoted straight to manager. My income could double. He took my hand, gaze full of fake tenderness. Baby, I'm doing this for you, for us, for our family. You support me, right? When I didn't answer, his expression got stiff. Then he leaned in closer. The divorce isn't real. It's just a formality. Management says single employees are easier to assign overseas. I'm only doing this to deal with company paperwork. We'll divorce but still live like husband and wife. I'll send all my salary back to you every month. The second I'm done, I'll come back and remarry you. You have to trust me. Trust him? Hell no. There's no such thing as a fake divorce. Once that certificate is signed, the law says it's real. Watching him swear up and down like that, I felt the last bit of trust I still had in him die for good. So before he could say more, I nodded. Okay, I'll do whatever you say. He lit up instantly. Sooner is better than later. Let's go to the courthouse tomorrow. That night, after he fell asleep, I tried to check his phone. I wanted to find out who the mistress was, but he was careful. He slept with the phone tucked under his pillow. So I went back to that post. The original poster had updated the comments. Got the old hag to agree to go to the courthouse with me. I've got it all figured out. Once I'm overseas, I'll fake my death and disappear. Then I won't have to send money home anymore. In a few years, my parents will probably be dead, the kid will be older, and I can go back and enjoy life. The comments underneath were full of praise. People calling him smart, saying he had game. I couldn't stop myself. Using a burner account, I replied, you're calculating your wife like this. Aren't you afraid karma's going to come for you? The hate rolled in fast. Karma? Staying home with a washed up wife is karma for men. Bro, you must not be married. If you were, you'd know. The flower at home never smells as good as the one outside. The filth in those comments was all the same. I got so angry I deleted mine. Beside me, my husband slept like a baby, snoring his damn head off. The more I looked at him, the more irritated I got, so I slapped him. He jolted awake in shock, and before he could react, I wrapped my arms around him. Sweetheart, did you have a nightmare? It's okay, I'm here. He touched his face, found nothing suspicious, mumbled something, lay back down, and within 5 seconds started snoring again. I stared at him in the dark and thought, go ahead, leave. But if you think coming back will be easy, you're out of your damn mind. The next morning, he couldn't wait to drag me to the courthouse. There was a mandatory 30-day waiting period. During that month, he treated me with exaggerated sweetness, probably terrified I'd change my mind. His parents kept nodding approvingly. Even our daughter said, Mommy, Daddy is so nice to you. When I grow up, I want a husband just like Daddy. She was only 4, too young to see the rot under a man's mask. That was okay. I'd teach her slowly. Words mean nothing, promises mean nothing. Real kindness is what you can actually hold in your own hands. On the day the divorce was finalized, the second he got the papers, he snapped a photo and updated the post. Single again. When we got home, he started packing. He told our daughter and his parents that the company was sending him away for work for a while. Nobody in the family knew we were divorced. At the door, he hugged me, barely able to hide his excitement. Honey, after I leave, my parents are counting on you. When I come back, I'll give you a better life. I waved goodbye like a loving wife. Only after I went back into the bedroom did I realize he'd taken our joint bank card. There was $300,000 worth of savings on it. I almost called to scream at him, then I stopped. That card only held a small part of the money I'd saved over the years. Before he cheated, he made good money and handed over his entire paycheck every month. And I'd made sure to save my own private stash. If daily expenses were $2,000, I'd tell him 5. If they were $5,000, I'd report 10. Some of the extra money went into the obvious account, the one he stole. The rest went into another bank account nobody knew about but me. Add in my wedding cash gifts and the spending money his parents gave me from time to time, and my personal savings were close to $1 million. A woman should always plan for herself. After he left, life in this house went on as usual. His last update came at the end of the month. Boys, I'm living the free life now. I'll enjoy it for all of us. The picture showed 2 hands clasped together under a sunset. The IP address was overseas. I pretended I knew nothing and kept taking care of our daughter and his parents. 2 days later, my father-in-law fell by accident. Brain hemorrhage. He was rushed into emergency surgery. My mother-in-law cried while calling my husband over and over. 30 calls, not one answer. She ran to his company, only to be told there was no overseas assignment. He had quit a month ago. He was completely gone. She panicked and wanted to call the police. That was when I started crying too. Mom, what do I do? I think he tricked me. With no choice. At least that's how I made it look. I told her everything about the fake divorce. Mom, I sobbed, tears streaming down my face. He even stole the family bank card. Do you think he has another woman? Do you think he lied to me about work so he could divorce me and make room for her? He took all the money and Dad needs surgery right now. What are we supposed to do? That bastard! My mother-in-law shouted. Then her eyes rolled back and she fainted. I pressed down the smile tugging at my lips and calmly paid both their hospital bills. My father-in-law's surgery was successful. My mother-in-law woke up later in a hospital bed. My eyes were red from rubbing onion on them. Before I came in, I patted her hand and comforted her. Mom, don't worry, I'm here. Then she noticed my bare wrist. The thick gold bracelet she'd given me when I got married was gone. Where's your bracelet? I pulled my hand back and lowered my head, letting her also notice my bare neck. Then I planted the seed. Dad needed surgery and all the money was gone, so I sold my jewelry. It should hold us over for a while. Mom, don't worry. He may be heartless, but you and Dad dad have always been good to me. I won't walk away from you. She burst into tears and held my hand for a long time. Then, like she'd finally made up her mind, she said, Emma, he failed you. He failed your daughter. That's on us too. We didn't raise him right. From now on, you're our daughter as far as we're concerned. We never had that worthless son. Inside, I was thrilled. On the outside, I looked overwhelmed with emotion. Mom, please don't say that. In my heart, you and dad have already been my real parents for a long time. A week later, my father-in-law woke up and was moved out of the ICU. I'd only gone home to cook a meal. When I came back, both of them were waiting with tears in their eyes. My mother-in-law pulled me close, took out a bank card, and shoved it into my hand. Emma, this is the retirement money your father and I saved all these years. $800,000. It's all yours now. Mom, I can't take this, but she insisted. The day your father went into the hospital, I was already planning to use it, but you moved faster than we did. You sold your jewelry to pay for his surgery. Sweetheart, this money is compensation from us on behalf of that no-good son. And besides, didn't we already agree? You're our daughter now. Parents give their daughter spending money, don't refuse. She sounded so sincere. My father-in-law nodded from the bed. At that point, refusing would have looked rude. See, I hadn't gambled wrong. One of the biggest reasons I married my husband in the first place was his family. His parents were gentle, fair-minded, and decent people. Whenever we argued, they never automatically took his side. They usually told him to treat me better. So the moment I learned he was cheating and planning to scam me into a divorce, I made a decision. I was going to replace him in his parents' hearts, one step at a time. Yes, I had selfish reasons too. My in-laws had both worked stable government jobs when they were younger. Their pensions were excellent. I'd never need to worry about supporting them in old age. When they passed, they'd likely leave behind a respectable inheritance for me and my daughter. Several of their old friends and former coworkers had children now working in powerful positions across the city. A child raised in this kind of family has access to education, to opportunities, to connections. If I had stormed out in anger at the beginning and taken my daughter with me, my own savings never could have given her this kind of future. Only a fool turns away useful resources. My ex-husband used to sneer at this kind of calculating. Holding that bank card, I laughed at him in my head. Now the parents, the network, the social capital he looked down on, all of it belonged to me. A month later, my father-in-law came home from the hospital. The after effects of the brain bleed were serious, but he recovered well. He still needed constant physical rehab. By then, our house had gone too long without a father figure. Even my daughter could tell something was off. I didn't intend to lie to her. Maybe another man would be part of this family someday, but it would never be my ex-husband. He was not irreplaceable. She was 4, old enough to understand more than adults gave her credit for. Maybe it was cruel, but it was kinder than letting her grow up trapped inside a beautiful lie. 3 years later, she got into the best elementary feeder school in the city. My father-in-law recovered completely. Every morning, he went to the park to play chess with the old guys there. My mother-in-law did group dance in the mornings, bought groceries at noon, cooked lunch, and picked up my daughter from school in the afternoon. Thanks to one of my father-in-law's old connections, I got hired at a tech company run by a former colleague's son. My annual salary hit $300,000. By then, this household had completely forgotten my ex-husband even existed, but some people refused to stay buried. Years later, that old post of his updated again, still from an overseas IP. Guys, after all these years abroad, I'm realizing the mistress isn't all that. Any ideas on how I can get back to my wife and kid?